Hello everyone and welcome back to a special edition of Emergency Services in Scotland. After a funeral through in Glasgow, I took the opportunity to do an impromptu visit to the Clydesmill fire station, which used to be known as the Cambuslang fire station after it was moved to a new building in 2011. The new building is very sleek and very modern. It looks almost unrecognisable compared to the many kind of classical looking fire stations that still populate around Scotland. As well as two regular firefighting appliances, the station is also home to two specialist units which I'm going to talk about today. So the first one is the Prime Mover. A Prime Mover is a type of firefighting vehicle that, rather than being loaded with a predetermined kit on a fixed body, it loads pods for different kinds of jobs. This gives a unit flexibility to respond to many emergency scenarios. Various different kind of pods exist. You've got high volume pump pods, breathing air support, hazardous materials, environmental protection, urban search and rescue, and more. When I visited the station, Clydesmill's Prime Mover was equipped with the high volume pump pod. Although a very interesting and flexible system, Prime Movers only really get called out to very serious incidents, most of which usually turn out to be false alarms. As such, Clydesmill's Prime Mover only gets deployed in anger around approximately once a year, which is quite small when you compare it to the other emergencies that the fire station has to face on a daily basis. The high volume pump pod is itself made up of other smaller pods. Once dismounted from the Prime Mover can swing around to the rear of the high volume pump pod and use the hooks to pull off the two sub-modules. There are effectively three parts to the high volume pump pod. At the front, behind the silver doors, is the high volume pump itself, which can shift a whopping 8,000 litres of water a minute, compared to a normal pump on a normal appliance, which can only shift around 1,700 litres per minute. The two sub-modules at the rear contain the large diameter hosing necessary to transport such a high volume of water. The hoses can be up to 70 cm in diameter. 1 kilometre of these hoses are available in one of the pods, so when all three high volume pumps are used together, they can shift literally tons of water over 3 kilometres to where it is needed. Because of this ability to move huge volumes of water over large distances, high volume pumps can be very effective tools in dealing with flooded areas, something I never really considered before my visit to the station. Several pods are available at Clydesmill Fire Station. There's the three high volume pump pods, which we talked about earlier. There's environmental protection, which helps crews deal with hazardous material incidents. And then there's a breathing air support pod, which is a mobile compressor that allows crews to replenish their air canisters at the scene of a major incident, without having to return to the compressor at a fire station and then return to the scene of the incident. The second specialist unit at Clydesmill Fire Station is a water rescue vehicle. Technically speaking, it's a supplementary equipment vehicle, so in cases of large incidents it can be used to transport crew and equipment to the scene of an incident if there's no other pumps or appliances available. It's routinely equipped for its role as a water rescue vehicle, and almost every inch of space is jam-packed with various equipment. The water rescue unit is equipped for two different kinds of rescue: shallow water, which is anything knee-deep or lower, and deep water rescues. For shallow water rescue, such as evacuating residents from a flooded area, the water rescue unit has its boat and an inflatable rescue path that can extend for up to 10 metres. It also has a pole to ensure that firefighters will not accidentally slip into deeper water. This is very important because when flash flooding hits a sewer area, the drain covers can quite easily lift it up and float away, leaving a dangerously deep hole for somebody to fall down. For deep water rescue, the unit is equipped with flotation devices to aid rescue. It has flotation assists that allow firefighters to swim through deep water as well as keeping them afloat, but it also has emergency flotation devices, which will save somebody from drowning, but because of the way it works, it doesn't allow you to swim when it's activated. The water rescue unit is actually equipped with two different boats. The first one is rigid hulled, and it's transported on the trailer behind the van, but due to its outboard motor, it requires a slip to safely launch the boat. Not all emergencies occur conveniently close to one. On the second shelf, in a big orange bag, is an inflatable boat that can be carried to where it is needed and then inflated using an air canister. Fire crews can then move the boat using the paddles that are also in the back of the van. While technically a different facility, Clydesmill is home to the Scottish Fire and Rescue Service College. This massive site is home to some truly amazing facilities. It has a main building which is home to lecture theatres and classrooms, and it even has a mock fire station for the Scottish Fire and Rescue Cadets to practice deploying to various emergencies. Unfortunately, because I wasn't able to inform them in advance, I wasn't able to go around the Fire Service College on that day, but it's something I'll hopefully get to do in the future. So that is everything for this special edition of Emergency Services in Scotland. Thank you very much to the crews from Clydesmill Fire Station who were able to accommodate me even after very short notice. I hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit about the Water Rescue Unit and the prime mover and high volume pump systems. We'll get back to regular Emergency Services in Scotland content next week, so thank you very much for watching. I'll see you then. Bye!